Joseph Osco, publisher of American News Post, sitting with our new head of our new division, our sports division, Michael Magnifici, and our corruption writer, Frank Coconati. Today, the two gentlemen are going to be discussing some recent sports updates and other things that go along with that. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Joe?
Good. Thanks for being with us. And Frank, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And you, sir?
Good.
All right. So I guess I'll just quiet down now since I'm not as well versed in this area as Mr. Magnifici is, and you, Mr. Coconati.
Well, the biggest thing on the plate, I would think, for right now is the Indiana-Miami series.
The basketball game.
The basketball game, yeah. It's 2-2. They're going back to Miami. I think that in Game 5s, the winner of Game 5 is one on to win like 84% of the time. So this game is crucial to both teams.
And it's in Miami.
And it's in Miami, which they will definitely have, the crowd is going to be going crazy. It's electrifying there at Miami's home court. I expect LeBron to just have a blowout game today. He made 2 turnovers in the last game, late in the game, that was just un-LeBron-like. And I expect him to just do some really amazing things.
He's got a great cast with him, too. Who's the other guy?
He's got Bosh, Dwayne Wade. Now, Dwayne Wade is...
slowing up?
Well, he's got a bum knee.
Do you think he's getting too old now?
No, he's not too old. He's just unhealthy.
Yeah.
He's just unhealthy. There's a guy that will give you... Dwayne Wade will give you 25 points a game.
Right.
22 to 25 points a game, give you 8, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He's that type of guy. He's like in the teens now, in single digit, lower single digit.
Before LeBron, he was the guy over there.
He was the guy there. He did win a championship with Shaq.
Right.
And all they needed was that one piece, and Shaq said, we're going to win it this year.
And Dwayne Wade was a surprise then.
Yeah, he's a Marquette guy.
Yeah.
With the Marquette, he's a local guy, Chicago guy.
Right.
He's a fantastic player. He's just banged up.
Right.
And that is what this series, being that Indiana is so physical.
I was just going to ask you next how Indiana matches up better than the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls played with 7 guys.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you got 12 guys, you got 15 guys on your roster.
And 7 guys are probably bench guys.
Right, they're all bench guys.
Right.
So the Bulls had nobody. Next year, you give me a healthy D Rose, ex-MVP. Miami looks like they're going to be the nuts for quite some time here.
Yeah, right.
But I think the Bulls are be formidable with them, out of anybody in the East.
But back to Indiana, who's on Indiana that's giving these guys such trouble?
Hibbert.
It is 2-2 this series.
It's Hibbert, Dwayne West. Those are the 2 mainstays there. They got a lot of role players that really step up. That guys that'll give you do 14 points, 8 boards. Bench players.
Who's their scorer?
West is their scorer.
West.
He's the one, and Hibbert's their defensive tree. He's the guy you put in the paint that he kind of dares you. He's like the modern day Will Chamberlain.
Right.
Dare you to come in.
And who makes out the rest of the team is matching up well. I mean, it's just every game's been close. They've won, right? One was a blowout.
Well, they had the double overtime or single overtime in game 1.
Right. That was I saw some of that game.
And how you let a guy get a layup to the go right to the basket is just ridiculous.
Right.
And that was West's fault. Now here's a guy hits the 3-pointer and then gets fouled and makes the three free throws.
Right.
Okay, in a row, which is very tough to do. But he makes the 3-pointer to tie it. He makes the 3 free throws. But then he does the stupid thing on defense. 2.2 left. You don't let the guy get to the hoop.
Right.
And they didn't put Hibbert in.
Right.
And it was a big coaching. They were the question.
But that's a player's laughs too, right? When you let a guy come in with
sure.
a layup,
You overcommit.
knocks him on his butt.
You were not supposed to. First of all, you're supposed to foul him.
Right.
Okay, let him make the 2 free. He just missed 3 out of his last 5.
That's what?
No,
LeBron.
did. So you're supposed to foul him in that situation and tackle him, do whatever. I mean, anything but a flagrant where you get ball-end shots.
Right.
You get the repossession of the ball. But
Well, your opinion, who do you think's going to win?
I think Miami.
Miami.
I'm cheering for Indiana, and by reason.
You want to give a spread, or you don't want to give a spread?
No, I will. I think Miami is like a 7.5-point favorite tonight.
Yeah. You think?
I think Miami in 6. I think Miami wins tonight.
Again.
Okay. Miami is about a 7.5 point favorite. That was as of last night. how they, game time stuff could, last minute injury, that could change. It could
Well, what
be
do you think?
I think that tonight Miami wins by double digits.
Really?
If I was a betting man, I would lay whatever the price, because I think we'll win by 10 or more.
Because they usually step up when
If they're going to
it
do
counts.
this here, this is a big step-out game for LeBron to show that, that's 2 turnovers in the last quarter, the last seconds of that game that really let Indiana win that game. He's going to make up for this. I expect him to have a huge game. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a triple-double tonight. I really do believe he could do that, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm a Chicago fan. I can't stand Miami, but
I
you can't bet with your heart.
Right.
You're betting with, if you bet, you've got to bet who's the better
Well,
team.
the thing that, I like Miami when Wade was there, but only Wade, when LeBron they're like the evil empire.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
They do the
Bought the
they
team,
bought
right?
the team.
Bought the team.
You
Instead of
know,
coming up and
Jordan, he started with all
On
these
the
guys.
ball,
Pippen,
right.
who the hell was Pippen? He went to Arkansas State or something like that.
exactly right.
He was nothing, and he brought Horace Grant. Who the hell heard of him?
Right.
And,
Then they bring in crazy man.
Rodman,
Rodman.
established,
Just big players.
right.
Big
And they
players.
brought it in, and they made it work. And the thing that my thing against Miami is that I think the comparisons of LeBron to Jordan. He's not Jordan. When he gets 6 championships, then we have a conversation. This here could all happen again. But you know what?
And did you, in your lifetime, did you see any better clutch player than Jordan?
No, without a doubt, no.
I mean, LeBron ain't their players yet. I mean, if
He
he'll
might
ever
be.
be.
Right.
He
might be.
Right.
He's definitely got the tools. He's one of the smartest basketball IQ guys I've seen. If you measure basketball IQ like you measure our IQ,
Right.
he's like 160. I mean, this guy here knows where everybody. He can play every position. He knows where everybody's at.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jordan actually was that same guy too. Jordan just had the it factor. It's called the it factor.
Right.
He
The
had.
intangible.
He had that will to win that he just would not let himself lose. It just wasn't acceptable to him.
Right.
He wanted the last shot. Where LeBron, you see, he passes it off a little bit. He wasn't ready to be in that role.
Another big topic in Chicago with sports is the Chicago Blackhawks. What do you feel? Did you watch last night's game?
Yeah.
Last night's game?
Yeah, I did. I watched the last half of it. The Hawks, after what they came back from the 3-1 deficit, it's going to be tough to beat them. They got such momentum.
I think so, huh?
Yeah, they got everything going on. We could come back from it. We came back from 3-1. I think that happens like maybe 1 out of every 7 times when the team is down 3-1. It just doesn't happen, especially in hockey.
I thought Detroit was going to eat them alive.
I did too. I thought that the goalie was playing good. I mean, look at the scores in the games,
Right. Tight games.
I haven't followed the other conference.
Right.
What is it, the LA and Pittsburgh?
There's LA and what's left now is the LA Kings, who the Hawks will be playing.
Right.
And then you got Pittsburgh Penguins against the Boston Bruins.
The Bruins, right. I like Pittsburgh.
They're tough.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is tough.
No, I think that the Hawks' toughest matchup will be is if they have to play Pitt.
Yeah.
Because I like that Sidney Crosby. I think that he is just, he's just like a large Wayne Gretzky out there. You know what I mean? He's that big guy that does what Gretzky did on the ice.
And we don't see him because the divisions don't play.
Right.
The divisions don't play
Right.
each other till the end.
Right.
Which I didn't even know.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
They changed all that. Yeah, they changed all that.
Reorganized.
It didn't used to be like that.
No, they used to just play each other during the season, but now, and I think Pittsburgh is, I think they're better than the Hawks.
I do too.
Yeah.
I see Pitt in Chicago playing for the Cup.
Right.
And, anything can happen. I mean, look what the Hawks just did.
You think that's who'll be in there, huh?
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a betting man, go just opposite what I said.
Yeah.
The Kings and the Bruins, because I'm never winning.
I mean, the Kings as a former Stanley Cup champion.
Right. But, the Hawks, after coming back from that is such a momentum boost for them that they could do just about anything now. They're going to be able to...
Plus, this is a huge... Detroit wasn't even supposed to be around.
No.
I mean, they were supposed to just not even make
But
the playoffs.
Detroit.
I
They
know.
always put a team on their physical.
Always.
They're tough.
Every year they seem to be right there.
Right.
I mean, and they were written off this year. They must have some good young players.
They do. I haven't followed hockey as much as I should have. I get into it this time of year. I'm more into the basketball and, the baseball and all that.
Right.
Golf, you
Right.
got this week here, you had the Memorial. Jack
Right.
Nicklaus's tournament.
Right,
And Woods has won that 5 times,
right.
or 6 times, 5 or 6
And where's this tournament at?
Dublin, Ohio,
Yeah.
at, is it Memorial, I think it's Memorial Golf, I forget the name of the course. But he's had great success there. He sets up good for Jack Nicklaus's golf courses, and why Nicklaus hit the ball long his whole life.
Right.
He's a designer of golf courses. He does not shorten up the fairways. He does not make a 30-yard fairway make it 50 yards. He likes you to hit the driver.
Right.
And Woods is a long ball hitter, so he obviously has success out there. He does well, and that's what you want him to do.
Is he the favorite?
Oh, yeah. What else? He's
Who
number one player in the world.
else is playing? I mean, all the top golfers
Oh,
play.
yeah,
right?
Rory McIlroy's in it. He was, after 8 holes this morning, last I checked, he was 4 over par after 8 holes, so he was
Wow.
gagging it, But he had an equipment change.
Golf has just become so popular now.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
We know what happened with Rory, is that I don't blame him for turning, how could they make him the offer you can't refuse. Nike gives him $130 million to use his clubs, use their clubs.
Who, I mean, what was
Rory
it?
McIlroy. So he gets $130 million, he can't hit the ball out of the yard anymore. It's like the popcorn machine is off and the popcorn is flying all over, that's how he's hitting the ball.
What,
But-
because of the golf clubs?
Yeah.
Whose golf clubs did he use?
Nike. Nike gave the endorsement.
so he had to use
You have
that.
to use them, yeah.
Wow, that's
You have to
interesting.
put- Yeah, and a lot of guys, it sets you back. There's a guy who won 2 majors
Right.
already, he's only 23, was, talking about the next Tiger Woods, and he's,
You're right, you're right.
he's had a setback with this,
God. 100-something million, though.
130 million, I'll take the setback.
Yeah. All right, one more we'll talk about. How about the Cubs, the Sox they played? You follow that at all?
Sure.
I'm
I'm more of a Cubs guy.
But you like them both, or?
Well, you know what, I'm not like one of those guys that hates the Cubs and loves the Sox and vice versa.
Right.
I am a Cubs fan by heart. If I had my choice who I would rather have win the World Series, obviously it'd be the Cubs.
Right.
But when the Sox are in there, when they 05, 06, when they won it,
Yeah.
I was cheering for them. I went to the game with
Right.
my buddy John Connorelli. Ducky's got lifetime seat. He cried when they won. That's how much the Sox.
Where did you, they call it the Cell now, right?
Yeah, the Sox.
Where did you guys go eat?
Well,
Not that there's anything to do with sports,
no,
but
it was the Rose Bowl.
really?
Yeah. It's right there.
It's right at Taylor Street,
Yeah.
right?
But,
What a bunch of guys?
mhm.
And then you, I mean, I'm not a Sox fan. I just don't like them.
I'm a Cubs fan,
Yeah, I'm a Cub guy.
But I do cheer, if I get a,
And it is sickening, but you know what? You just want to be loyal, I guess. I mean,
right.
or you just want to just win it. I guess they're the last team.
Like, I look at it like, if you're going to pull for somebody, why not pull for Chicago? Don't do
Right.
that. I mean, if the Cubs aren't in it, wouldn't you just rather
Right.
cheer for Chicago?
Right.
Probably the only team I would cheer for besides the Sox, and not over the Cubs, but somebody else, would be Boston Red Sox.
You like
Because
that?
they got the kind of the Cubs history.
Yeah.
They didn't win it forever.
Right.
Francona, Deleon, comes
Right.
in there, he wins, the 2 championships in 5 years.
Right.
They came back from 3 games down.
I always
That
like
never
Boston.
happens.
I like Boston when they had
Carlton Fisk.
Rico Petrocelli.
Oh,
and,
yeah, those were great teams.
was it Bernie Carbo.
Bernie Carbo, yeah.
Who else they have on that team? They had some great teams.
They
and
had-
didn't win it.
I'm trying to think.
Well, they had the Rice, Jim Rice.
Jim Rice, yeah.
And they had
the Hall of Fame.
before they,
Wow.
yeah.
And
He was good.
he was great. He was 400 home run hitter,
Right.
lifetime 300 something.
He played great outfield.
Yeah, he had strong arm.
Dwight Evans.
Dwight Evans,
Yeah.
another guy. Oh, he was a long time
When I was
Sox.
younger, I used to follow it. Now I'm just,
That's where we gotta go. We
Yeah.
gotta, I have to hit, before they destroy all these fields with the jumbotrons and
Right.
it's all too technical.
Right.
Wrigley, which I've gone to a billion games.
Right.
But Fenway Park is the only other one that's
Right.
left that's nostalgic.
Now, Cleveland, they said, I know it's a new stadium, but they're supposed to be a nice stadium. And San Francisco's got a beautiful stadium.
Francona's over in Cleveland now.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
He's coaching?
Yeah, they turned
And
it
they're winning big.
They're like 28-18.
Right.
That, they
I always had a thing for Cleveland too, I like.
I was always-
I don't know why, just because maybe the Indian head or the.
Well, you know what I did? I go back to the drive with Elway.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
I remember
Right.
cheering for Cleveland in that 8-yard line with 2
Was that against Cleveland?
Yeah, the drive.
God. It was a cold day,
It was
wasn't it?
cold. It was in Cleveland.
Right.
It
Who
was a
was
cold.
Cleveland's quarterback? Do you remember?
Bernie Kosar.
He was good.
He was good. It was Miami, Florida guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's just something about Cleveland, maybe because they're so,
I've been there a few
Midwest.
times. I've seen that new stadium. I wasn't inside of it, but I saw it from the outside. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Right on the water.
Right.
It's gorgeous.
Baltimore too supposedly has a nice park.
Yeah, Camden Yards.
Is that what it is, Camden
I think
Yards?
it kept the same name. They call it
You like the old time looking ballpark,
I do too.
not these,
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, if they want to do the ring, I think is ridiculous. I mean, I understand you need a jumbotron. Every stadium seems to have one. It'd be nice to see a replay, but is it really that important?
Right.
People won't go to Cubs Park and watch a replay.
you may as well sit home at home and watch TV.
Right. You don't
I mean,
need
why
it.
you-
They go there to sit in the bleachers, drink the beer, and eat a hot dog.
Right.
That's what they do.
Right.
The rooftops and, you know.
My father loved it. I just
Oh,
know my dad.
I
my
went,
dad.
I had neighbors across the street from me that had season tickets. I must have went in the '69 season when they really disappointed me.
Right, that
You
was,
know, Kessinger, Becker, Banner.
anybody in our generation,
Yeah.
we're probably close to the same age, but
That
that
was
'69 was like, God, you just couldn't believe it. You'd look at the TV when the
8 games,
Mets,
yeah.
so the Mets are gonna ever, will they lose?
8-game lead with what?
I don't,
20 games to
20
go.
games. You look back now, and that Mets team, the pitching was,
Cleon Jones.
Right. Swoboda on that team. Cranepool,
Takagi.
I remember him.
Yeah, Ed Cranepool.
Ed Cranepool, they had all these guys, like, where, Grody was the catcher.
Right.
Bud Harrelson.
Bud Harrelson, yeah.
Gil Hodges.
Gil Hodges. I had all their baseball
They
cards.
scarred us.
They killed us.
Yeah, I don't care what word, when you played them, they were winning every game.
Every game.
They won the World Series.
They won the
winning
World Series, yeah, 69.
They're just, the Orioles, I think.
Was it the Orioles?
I think it was the
that Gene
Baltimore
Weaver team? Was that Gene Weaver? Wasn't he the coach?
Earl.
Weaver.
The Earl of Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, right. Jim Palmer.
Jim
Baltimore.
Palmer, Cuellar.
Cuellar, right.
Well, I remember.
I had all the baseball cards.
Exactly. Then, see, when you're
Yeah.
younger, you're following. Today, I don't even know
Yeah.
half the guys.
I know.
It's just,
I was telling a friend that the amount of information I get is a recap, because I don't stay up that late. And I'm
Right.
up early in the morning. My
Right.
girl, we're up at, 4:45 in the morning. She's off to work by
Right.
6:15.
right.
So I make the coffee, doing all that. And she watches the news, and I go upstairs and I put on Mike and Mike in the morning.
Right.
And it's a 4-hour program. And other than not watching the commercials, I watch everything. And they give you a recap of, they're talking like we're talking.
Exactly. They're in a basement, aren't they even? Or,
No, they got a studio,
They
they
got a
got
studio?
headquarters in New York.
Yeah, what was the other guy? There's another guy that looks like they're in a basement.
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
an ESPN anchor.
He's good.
He's very good.
Very
Actually,
good.
I like his show better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Golick and Greenberg get me a little aggravated sometimes because they harp on the same thing, but I
Right.
understand it's a 4-hour program.
So they gotta
So they're
drag it out.
recapping the same hour every hour.
Right.
If it was a 2-hour program, you wouldn't get bored of it. And then I watch that ESPN First Take with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, and then I usually blow out.
You don't go on, you're watching TV, but on radio, do you listen to the guys at the scoring?
Yeah, I do. I listen to Score, Mike North. I used to golf with Mike North. I listen. That's a good opinion. He's
How about the guy now they have is, McNeil. McNeil and,
ex-football player?
no, he's a DJ. He's their big anchor now.
Oh,
on
is he?
Score, yeah.
I haven't listened to the Score because it is talk radio.
Oh, yeah.
It's on TV now. You watch
You see the preview, I mean, the,
You see them, yeah, you see the
oh, they're
replay.
huge, it's huge.
So I watch that, and that's where I get my information from. And they have that chatter line. Some of the bitches won't ever turn me in. I think I swear too much because I'll call in there. They'll say, chatter lines are open, make your comment. And I'll call in there and I'll wait. And I just wonder if I gotta get in the shower and I gotta get going. They ain't gonna
I'm
figure
like
it out.
you, I'm like you. Sometimes, well, they say something, they're so off base with some of their opinions.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't understand, people are listening to you, like, your opinions going out there, who knows how many people, and it's so off base sometimes.
Right.
I mean.
Well, that's what makes it good, actually, because they usually don't always agree.
Right.
So you like that confrontation,
Right.
like you can see that. These guys have been here 14 years.
Right.
They've just been on ESPN2 visually in the last, I think, 7-8 years. They were just strictly radio, Mike
Right.
and Mike,
Yeah, right, I remember
They
that.
were just Mike and Mike on the radio at
ESPN
1000.
1000.
Yep.
And, but that's when ESPN, the Score was first. I remember they were
Right,
here.
Score was 720,
Yeah,
Mike North.
yeah, they changed that to 670, but they right, Mike North, Dan Jiggets,
Jiggets, right?
Bernstein is still on there.
Bernstein's still on there, yeah.
Yeah, Bernstein and, Bowers, Boris.
These
Terry
guys,
Boris.
you know how much money they were making? You know what Mike North was making a year?
Big.
$750 a year.
Yeah, I think that's why he lost, he's out.
Yeah,
He's out.
$750 a year he was making on that program. He had a good opinion. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but,
I enjoy the shows, I mean, they're good.
we're gonna see a good, couple playoff series here, you know, Miami, Indiana, that's gonna be good.
So you know what we'll do, Mike? We'll, try to do something, you know, once a week and, discuss, give
Well,
an opinion.
excuse me, I think we're going to do something tomorrow,
Okay.
Right.
to see what you guys, you know, how you
Right.
guys,
So that,
Right.
Right,
Your
see what we
predictions.
predicted, you know, they would
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And you know what, probably, if it's gonna be a once-a-week thing, I would think that the best day would be Monday. Because
All right.
it's a recap of the whole weekend.
Okay.
There's a whole lot to
Right.
talk about there.
Right.
You know, we could sit here for 2 hours
right,
and really knock something out. You know, the golf is done,
Mhm.
every series of
Right.
baseball is done, you know.
baseball big series.
You know, there was a big series, Yankees-Boston, we'll have an opinion about that,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, Sunday they're gonna
Or
play,
something,
they're gonna play the
something,
basketball, Sunday they're gonna have the doubleheader, you know, when that
Right.
time gets in there, that'll be
Well,
played on
when they
Sunday.
win the World Series, we'll have a.
Yeah, well, we collected Social Security, you know.
So do we cover everything we intended to cover?
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to call it a wrap now, or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, gentlemen, good conversation, we'll see how this goes. We'll pick up tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then we'll schedule this regularly for
Especially talk
Monday
about the
then.
Miami
Right.
game,
Yeah,
which,
for tomorrow.
Mike picked Miami by 6.
By 10.
Ten?
Said they're favored
Oh,
by
that's
6.
right, double
Double
digits.
digits, I said.
I see.
10 or more, won't hold me just to exactly 10, but I think it'll be at least a double-digit game. And I hope I'm wrong, because I
Yeah.
want Indiana to win.
We'll see how right you are tomorrow.
All right, all right.
All right, very good. Thank you, gentlemen.